Hey guys, I'm opening it up on another phone. I can't see chat. I don't know why Prism's fucking up again. Oh, there it is. It is working. Alright, I'm gonna get this connected anyway. Got an extra phone I'm just gonna use to check chat whenever it's not working in my stream. I'm only doing YouTube. It's through Prism, but it's just YouTube through Prism, so see how well that works out. YouTube. I don't even know what account I have logged in here. Uncle G Bot. Actually, it's showing me icons now, so they must have upgraded it. Okay, I can see well, maybe it's just because it's YouTube. I don't know. That's pretty sweet. Live, but not in that channel.
Hello and welcome to Stay Free with Russell Brand. We've got a magnificent, exciting, visceral and potent show for you today. Later we're going to be talking to you about an exclusive story broke here on this show by Michael Schellenberger and Matt Taibbi, the Woodward and Bernstein of the counter-establishment age. Remember when Woodward and Bernstein, real journalists, were fated by the establishment, could work for an organisation like the Washington Post. That's, I guess, what they work for, isn't it? Now, like Barry Weiss, if she broke about, for example, the Hunter Biden laptop, she's out in the New York Times. So the world has changed. The establishment has changed. This is where you will get independent media. This is where you will get of the mainstream. This is where you can join us. Press the red button on your screen now to become a member of our locals community.
Missed you at the poker game last night.
What can we do, Russell, you asked me? Well, join us. Let us unite and make a difference to right-minded, free-thinking people like you. We simply cannot discuss that on YouTube. We're going to be looking at the treatment of whistleblowers, the use of the Espionage Act, and the genuine imperialistic agenda potentially behind Trump's vilification and trial. I'm not a MAGA hat guy, but I am a justice guy. We've got a fantastic story for you. You are not going to want to miss that. You are going to want to
hear about justice. They're going to categorize you as right-wing.
My on-screen assistant, is that still what you are? Yep. Let's have a look how you're credited. Yes, you are. Is it possible that aliens, extraterrestrials or extra-dimensionals or extra-temporals, because as Jeremy Corbell, our frequent guest on this show, you can have a look at our conversation on Rumble right now, consistently reminds us we do not know where these extraterrestrials come from. Are they among us? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Do they move among us? Are they moving among us? Do you remember... when I used to be married. Do you remember when I used to be married?
I do remember that.
Before, not current marriage, prior marriage. Yeah. Well, there was a song about extraterrestrials, and I like to think it might have been about old Russ.
Okay, how did it go?
I dislike my husband very much. I want out, I want out, I want out. I've made a mistake. Didn't think this through. We've rushed into this. Actually, I'm very happy about that period in my life.
So am I. I can trip to India.
Hey! Don't you dare celebrate that! Don't you dare celebrate that trip to India. They were the days, though.
They were some days.
They were some days. Extraterrestrials. You know those guys, don't you?
Certainly do.
Up there in the spaces. I mean, this is really fantastic. You're going to love this clip.
Fresh,
like that
French bread.
What they call Newsmax.
Yep.
Newsmax. People really like Newsmax, I think. Anyway, this guy's off Newsmax. He's like an Australian journalist. He's part of Jim Robinson, Neighbours hero. You'll know that if you're English or Australian. Are you Australian? Let's know in the chat. And it's part Jim Morrison, not Jim Morrison, it could be less like Jim Morrison. Oh, is everybody in? He's part Jim Robinson and part, who else do you mind of? Andrew Marr. These are both references that you Americans won't understand. Anyway, he's certainly very turned on by David Grush. Is he called David Grush?
That's correct.
So whistleblower David Grush seems to really, this guy fancies the life out of him, as far as I can tell. It might not be true. I wouldn't like to have those accusations levelled at me as a journalist.
Physically sick.
Let's have a look at how he handles this conversation.
Well, this is you, the original one that we played earlier in the week.
Oh, we did this. If you've not watched this yet, it's up already on Rumble. It's also the 6.4 million Awakening Wonders could access it, but we prefer you go over to Rumble because it's part of our relationship with Rumble to suggest that to you. Let's have a look at this bit of content that we made. It's very funny.
You were trusted with the most intimate secrets. Yes.
Why are you making this so seductive and full of intrigue?
You are one of the most handsome men I've ever seen. You look like Prince William a bit.
Thank you.
Your pecs are very well formed. Your nipples now, well, they're a bit like unidentified anomalous objects.
We just get on with the interview.
I have plenty of current former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew of as my whole career, that confided to me they were a part of the program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And
This guy's falling in love with him. That's the problem. Is the interview like,
Oh, look at you. You know so much. You've seen things. Did they use an anal probe on you? No, no. May I?
that's pretty funny. This is another part of the conversation where he seems to be taking the whole phenomena of extraterrestrial life much too personally. He'd like to talk about his own emotions.
Do you think have they ever harmed people? Have they killed them? Could I be in danger? I'm scared.
He takes the news too personally. As you know, as a discerning viewer, the news is just an entertainment product designed primarily to distract. Antithetical to your advancement.
Morning, Toe.
Like this guy, though, is not.
He's frightened by his own news.
Right, what's on the news today? I'll do some news. There are aliens. Oh my god, what if they touch me in a way I don't like? I mean, if it was you and me, David Grush, then I'd be fine, but not with these guys with their big grey faces and their big bloody great eyes. Oh, what are you going to do? Oh, look.
Have human beings been hurt or killed by a non-human intelligence?
while I can't get into the specifics because that would reveal certain U.S. classified operations, I was briefed by a few individuals on the program that there were malevolent events like that.
No, I'm scared. People have just heard you say,
No one's good.
I will have murdered human beings.
First he says hurt or killed. They will have just been hurt a little bit. But yeah, well, don't do that next time.
Oh, that stings! You poked me then. Sorry. Yeah, if your extraterrestrial hurts you, I'll whistle blow so hard.
Also, the concepts of like murder
Claiborne.
aliens, like they don't exist. I mean, we're assuming they don't exist within the same kind of context as us. Was it first degree?
Midwest is on his break.
Is it a crime of passion?
It certainly would be if it was me on you.
I'd kill you. If I'm going to kill you, Dave, it's a crime of passion. Already, there's an unidentified flying object in my trousers. And it's starting to... Yeah, let's not overly sexualise the interview, but he seems to have done a good job of that himself. So there you go, the truth is out
Ross
there.
Coulthard, we want to get him on.
Ross, come on our show so as we can torment you relentlessly about your interviewing style. I think, are we looking at now a French bill to remotely switch on microphones? Oh, well, that's great. So, you know what's been going on in France? They're already unhappy. They're furious over there in France about having their pensions stolen. They recognise that France has become a corporatocracy.
Yeah, it was a good time last night.
Macron appears to be ignoring democratic process, ignoring...
Streams go a whole lot better when I don't combine the IPAs and the...
Now they
the
want to
weeds.
impose a law
I just
that
did
will
the
allow
weeds
to
last
spy
night.
on you in your own home. Let me know in the chat if you ever have that experience where you're talking about cats and then you get an advert. Why not buy, I don't know, a cat or a hat for your cat? Now they're going to definitely turn on microphones for Le Chat all over France. Why, Gal? Why are they doing
Well,
it?
Snowden was interviewed recently, wasn't he? It was the 10th anniversary of his revelations, and he was saying that what he revealed at the time was child's play compared to what is going on now. And we had Schellenberg and Taibbi on the other day talking about the censorship industrial complex and the way that it's kind of, it's is permeating through everything that we can imagine now. And now this is designed, as is always the case, to deal with terrorism, organised crime, and delinquency. But apparently it's not just phones.
Oh, is it a dead zone?
This can be done in. It's now.
Yeah, I jumped in the shower when I got out. The streaming ended. I figured either he stopped or he had gone into a dead zone. He should be coming back up again then. He's still early on with his stream. I'm just doing my drive to work. I don't even think I'm going to be able to do a desktop today. We'll see how busy it is. I'm supposed to have a ton of people there, and I'm not going to get there until almost exactly 1 o'clock.
Here we go again. The opportunity. We're spying on you for your safety. You're not going to
My time.
I need to know exactly what your baby is saying at bedtime.
And, you know, as we say, this is going on across the
You know.
Coffee or poopy at any moment. Not exactly off work.
Hey, if anybody wants to, Joe, drop your Cash App in the chat.
What's a baby gonna do?
Toe and Ajot's diaper fund. Diaper and butt cream fund.
It's worrying, Ross.
All across the world, it seems that new measures are being implemented to further impose control on us. And what do we believe in here on Stay Free? Freedom, above all else. An optimistic perspective on humanity. That you, if you are free to become the person that
I believe it's just $ Toe for life, just like his username.
You don't need the constant intervention of the state in order to be a good person. You don't need a state that primarily serves the interests
Sweet.
of
What you getting, Wes?
You don't need a state that wants to introduce social credit style risk scores to social media users. This is currently taking place. This is a story from Vice. What's happening here, Gal?
Yeah, so this was a story published by Motherboard on Vice about the Department of Homeland Security. This was going back into 2018. They entered into a contract with the University of Alabama to develop a project that they dubbed Night Fury, which sounds great, doesn't it? Which was designed to analyse and assess risk scores to social media accounts. So essentially, using automation to evaluate people's social media accounts for connection to disinformation campaigns.
What on earth is making you so cynical about Project Night Fury?
Yeah.
It's like with tarot cards when they say, no, don't worry.
Best camera I have is on my personal phone, which I never stream from. I would in an emergency, but the reason I stream from this crappy SE is because it's a work phone. But I have the S23 Ultra. That's what this one is. The cameras. It's got the space zoom. Good night vision.
We want you, we need you, we love you. We want you to click on the link in the description right now and join us on Rumble for a fantastic extract from a conversation.
I'm just not a fan of iPhones that much. I use one for work.
Exclusive story was broken. Do you want to see what real news looks like? Are you sick and tired of the pulp, the pap, the bilge, the crap that they're pumping down you day and night, consistently, constantly, an endless diet of lies and censorship and surveillance? Then join us. Join us on Rumble. We're not there to propitiate, propagate and promulgate hate speech. We got no time for that. We're too busy fighting for freedom alongside you. Join us now. There's a link in the description. See you later, YouTube. Now, if you're watching.
Damn. See you later, YouTube. Okay, let's turn the scanner on.
311, we're good. Talking to Carter. But, location.
Copy 311.
Refinery ready.
328.
John.
113, sir.
Unit 56 Baker.
Unit 56 Baker.
Well, that's weird. Find something else. Rumble. I wonder if he's still live on Rumble. I don't know. Ribbon report. Yeah, Rumble just crashed. There's a race for Bongino's show.
We call this Fauci's Magic Lab. We'll get Bad Graphics Jack to make one, but we just simply don't have the time or confidence in Bad Graphics Jack. Let's have a look at Fauci postulating
last night, after the poker game, I decided to eat some cheese and crackers before bed because, you know, I had smoked some of the weeds. And look, my biggest Maine Coon cat tried to jump into my lap because he loves cheese. Well, he misjudged his jump and dug into my arm so hard that I flinched and kind of tossed him off me. Well, of course, he was dug in so good he just streaked the hell out of my arm. I get it. I hope everything went well with that. What the fucker did to my arm?
That's the sort of rap I'm watching my weight. Low carbs diet. Then I'm straight down the back cave.
Absolutely.
I relax, I unwind to see what these bags are doing up there.
He dug in.
I lick them, I suck them. I'm not sure to me. Sometimes I fuck them.
Yeah, I washed it good though.
You don't know me.
Hopefully no cat scratch fever.
Do they consent?
Absolutely they do. You know their little back faces. I take that to be.
Or any other type of infection.
Hey, Rumble, why did we come here?
Was it for that?
Yeah, all the while we were talking to Rumble about this deal of streaming 46 weeks a year, 1 hour a day. I was thinking this will be worth it because one day I'll say fuck me up the battle and it will be in.
It'll be in.
Like you can't. That's a part untouchable, uncensored part of the show.
Free speech, baby.
Free speech. Where freedom and speech meet, you get free speech. Where free speech meets, you get fringe.
I wasn't mad at him at all. He didn't even realize what he did. He wasn't trying to hurt me. He got scared because he didn't jump up high enough and he just grabbed what he was jumping on.
Necessary. It's part of what we do. Imagine how we're going to get into the conversation with Julian Dix. West Ham United player and legend Julian Dix joining us in Footballers Night, and you will stay watching it because
As long as you're not causing damage to your knees and stuff, that's fine.
What did you think about that?
Be good if you were doing like at a good enough pace to get your heart rate up a little bit.
The free speech that I require.
But as long as you're not causing any damage to your joints, I consider walking a whole lot better than running, especially at that age. My age even.
Press the red button.
Was he a general? I thought that was from a general.
This is from the Pol Pot. This is about UFOs. Sifilka. All of a sudden, the government is happy to talk about UFOs after decades of ridiculing anyone who wanted
That's
to.
awesome, though. 80 miles a
now
month.
these acceptable witnesses are part of intelligence agencies.
I guess if I should try to add up my stuff. I bet you the app does it for me for my watch.
Excuse me.
Don't ask her that.
Don't ask her that. Never let her know I did that. I'm embarrassed. But can you ask her?
I sit for over 100 miles a day.
I want to know if I'm inspired on gal.
Yeah, well, I've been doing it for a baby monitor.
What I do up there in my crib, it's my business. What I do there.
It's the sound of some bats. I'll tell you that as well.
Well, part of my free speech and part of my pastimes, my cat's bringing the bat. How can you hear them? They're so nuts. It's inaudible. I could hear them. It's inaudible. Bear, the dog can hear him, but you can't, baby. So, I want to know if I've been spied on by the Tragic. Interesting that whenever revelations about the Biden family's criminal activities heat up in the news, we start hearing government propaganda stories about UFOs, Trump, Ukraine. Do you think it's that? Do you think it's a distraction?
I mean, the point is not just the movement, but it is to get your heart rate going a little bit, get a little bit of cardio out of it.
I don't believe Jeremy Corbell is real.
Yeah.
He is real. I've met him. He's nice. He's the real deal. There he is. That's him.
Since I was in the Army, I got bad knees and ankles, so it's...
Could he be AI? Let me know in the chat if you think he's AI. He can't be AI, is he? Is he AI?
Running is not my thing anymore.
AI? I don't think so. Okay, time now. But this is a story that is going to knock your knickers into a postbox. Yeah. You are going to...
Yeah.
Your fingernails are going to fall off with this one. Because we've had a good look.
Yeah, I wear it when I'm cutting the grass, too. I get lots of steps. I don't even have... Well, because I'm steering constantly.
The use of the Espionage Act previously is being used not to prosecute...
It's pretty smart, though. It knows that I'm not walking at 70 miles an hour.
Snowden. The Espionage Act is the very act that Julian Assange would be tried under if he ever faced trial. He's still in prison for some reason, even though he's obviously not been convicted of anything, so he hasn't had a trial yet. So
it's kind of silly sometimes, too, because I'll get a warning that I need to get up and move around sometimes while I'm driving.
Of course, he's got, it seems like a lot of boxes of secrets, but we've got a lot of questions on those boxes of secrets. Who decides what secrets should be kept from us? Are these secrets there in order to protect us or control us? Based on the last few years, based on what you already know, do you think that these powerful deep state agencies, the media, the judiciary, big government and the corporatized global...
And then it's sarcastic as fuck because I'll be sitting at my desk and I'll finally get up to go to the bathroom or even to help somebody I'm working with. And it'll say, congratulations, you're not being a sedentary asshole, something like that. I don't know if that's the exact words, but... Thank you for finally moving your fat ass. I think that's what it says.
Could that act be named the Get Rid of People We Don't Like Act, particularly if they don't want ongoing wars? Donald Trump is being...
Oh, that's good, good. A nice fast pace.
Potentially because his attitude to war in particular...
Full heel to toe, stretching out your steps as much as your comfort allows. That should raise your heart rate.
I know a lot of you like him, I know a lot of you don't like him, but what's very interesting is the possibility of the fact that the establishment...
What's your resting heart rate?
...bring him down using an act that they used successfully to put Assange in jail, to exile Edward Snowden. Is it possible that the Espionage Act has become a catch-all piece of legislation to shut down voices...
Do you have any heart issues?
And again, I say this...
I just had a doctor's appointment yesterday, got a clean bill. They do need to do a CT scan on me though. So I'm waiting for them to call about that. I gotta do a CT scan. Make sure the MS isn't having any more problems. It's been a few years since they've done it. Everything got pushed back and became unnecessary during the pandemic, so. It depends on your BMI and your age.
This is unprecedented. They are amplifying the significance of
it's generally it's a bit higher when you're that older, depending on any cardiac conditions. Sometimes it's super low.
The improprieties of Bill Clinton, the handling of the financial crisis by Barack Obama. I would say that this is a comparable event. And just to show you that I'm not a pro-Trump person, I think it's worse that Trump gave tax breaks to the richest Americans that negatively impacted ordinary Americans like you. And I think that if he's going to be prosecuted for...
How long have you been in remission?
So let's look at this in a little more detail.
I'm in sustained remission with my MS. I had a procedure done called HSCT. I don't even have to take any medicines anymore for it, other than my cannabis.
Let me know in the comments in the chat, is this a witch hunt or is
Sometimes it's steroids, but it's very rare.
Inside the courtroom, Mr. Trump sitting with arms tightly crossed for much of the hearing. It lasted less than an hour.
Well, that's supposed to be, what's that additional deal? His arms are crossed, his arms are tightly crossed. Maybe because...
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Inside, Trump was
Hopefully they caught it early enough to save most of it.
One of them in violation of the Espionage Act.
Now, how is the espionage frequently used, and why is it deployed? Is it in order to pursue justice, or is it in order to shut down dissent? On Tuesday, for the first time in US history, a former president was arraigned in court for violating federal criminal law. The decision to indict Donald Trump reflects profound divisions within the ruling class and accelerates a crisis that will rattle the foundations of the American political establishment in the coming weeks and months.
That's awesome.
The indictment centers on Trump's retention of state secrets relating to
How often do they do a check?
Many of you, when sticking up for Donald Trump, often cite the
Probably
fact that he was a rare
post-remission, it's probably at least every 6 months or so, right?
Drone strikes continued and stuff like that, but at least he didn't start any new wars. So this is an interesting take that the establishment, in its imperialist aims, requires ongoing war. That's a difficult thing to contradict. It appears that companies like Lockheed Martin, sponsors of gay pride, Army, and Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, have incredible power, and as part of a corporate body that is the true.
See, I had my HSCT procedure done in like 2016, so
on the governing administration.
wow,
So you
7
have
years.
To decide, as a viewer, as an American, as a citizen of the world.
I've gotten some minor issues once in a while,
For justice, a longing
but
for
nothing horribly bad.
Having observed society for a while now, that dominion
Okay.
and profit appear to be the main motivators when it comes to the actions
Gotcha.
of the powerful. Let me know in the chat. Among the documents that the indictment states Trump kept after leaving office are those detailing the nuclear capabilities of the US and its enemies, as well as attack plans against various countries and contingencies for war. Yeah, but he's only showing them a Kid Rock. The state regards such documents as top secret because the population cannot be allowed to know about them. Another significant and important question. Here are two questions that you could ask yourself. Imagine this.
It's pretty normal, unindoctrinated.
What about war criminal presidents in history?
Let's see what mine is right now, just chilling going down the road. I just drank some tea though, so we'll see.
That all of that top secret information is to your benefit and to your advantage.
My watch will tell
Or do you
me.
think that maybe some of it, if you knew it, would prevent you cooperating with the ruling class? Let me know in the chat. To safeguard its secret war plan.
I'm at 62 right now. My resting heart rate's at 62 right now, but that's after drinking some tea. A little bit of caffeine in me. I'm usually in the 50s, resting. Ooh, another honor your oath video.
So check out that bit of analysis. Think about Edward Snowden's current position. Think about Julian Assange's current position. They were both threatened with prosecution under the Espionage Act. Based on just those couple of tidbits, does it seem
All right,
the
believe me.
Espionage Act's function
I understand where you're coming from there.
You think it's punitive?
Not just my youth, my early adulthood too.
Explicitly on the Alien and Sedition Act of 1798, arose in the bloody adolescence of American
Knocking on fake leather here. Haven't had any issues since 2008.
Washington followed these developments with the
And I quit smoking last October too.
And enacted the
Well, that's another reason they want to check me.
from the threat of revolution.
They want to see how much my lungs have healed, because I smoked for
We can't continue
about 30 years.
earth-shattering content without support from commercial partners. Do you think the mainstream media are going to put their hand out to us? Do you think conventional sponsors are going to support this type of content? Of course they are. We have radical partners. Here's a radical advert from a radical partner. You better believe I'm going to make it funny, and the rest of this video is fantastic. You're not going to want to miss it. Are we on the verge of an environmental apocalypse? Is AI going to destroy all mankind? Are we powerless to choose peace in the face of military-industrial complex objectives? And where the heck are my car key now? Dealing with questions like those ones is enough to make you exhausted, but thanks to Genucell skincare, you can still look and feel amazing. Like me, you'd never know I care about anything. Look at this eyelid treatment. Straight look at that now. The eyelids have never been better.
I love mine. I mean, I use those two.
In the USA, and I know exactly what I'm getting with their products.
It's called it's by Smok, SMOK.
His name's George. Right, George.
Hey, John. Just posted Toe's Cash App.
Because of these products. So if you're investing in your health and personal well-being,
It's
then start an
Hey, Boss of the Hog. It's called a Smok RPM. This is RPM2. It's got a little reservoir that pops off that you fill up. Pull that rubber thing. It's got a little coil on the bottom that pops out. You only want to pull that out when the fluid's almost empty though, because it dumps the fluid. But and the wife goes through more coils than I do.
The Espionage Act has served as the statutory foundation for the massive
I like it. You can adjust the wattage, lock the wattage. You can even lock the power button for when it's in your pocket without turning it off. Hey, Dirty Dog.
So this is a significant tool in the establishment of imperialist power.
And you could buy different strengths of salt nick. I usually get the 50 to 55 milligram, but I'll do less if that's all that's available. I like the ice ones because that was a menthol smoker. Got some ice grape right now. It's actually called Grape Chew. It tastes like grape bubblicious. It's pretty good, but icy. Get a little 30 milliliter bottle. I could usually fill up that thing about 5 or 6 times on one bottle. I filled it up yesterday and you could barely tell that I used any, so maybe more than that. And that's like 20 bucks. The vape itself was only like 45. So yeah, I'm saving a lot of money. I usually only have to fill it like once every 2 or 3 days. The wife is every day, but she's able to fucking use it constantly at work in her office. I just got yelled at the other day for doing that. In an office that I pay rent for, but there's no smoking in the building. You can get that too. You can get a Marlboro flavored juice. Or they just call it full flavor. Yeah, I was a Maverick menthol smoker because I'm cheap, and that's the same company that makes Newports, so they taste about the same, but we're $2 less a pack. Yeah, they have regular tobacco flavored.
All of this would be maintained and national security would be secured through elaborate regimes of secrecy. Over the course of the 20th century, the Espionage Act has been utilised.
Once in a while, I'll go to it. I'll just go straight like a menthol.
Most atrocious crimes. During the Second World War, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's
wife got me addicted to these flavored ones. I don't care. I feel a whole lot better though. I'm not fucking coughing up garbage every morning in the shower. That's another reason why they want to check my lungs when I go to Ann Arbor. Looks like we're supposed to get some rain today. Clouds are looking thick. They're dark. Looking a bit dark out.
The seeds that have grown into the state apparatus that's being used today to convict Trump and to control all of us. In the years following the Second World War,
I smoked that smoke. There you go.
Pseudo-legal backbone for the anti-communist witch hunts of the 1950s, including most notoriously the murder of Ethel and Julius Rosenberg on June 19, 1953, on trumped-up charges that they conspired to conduct atomic espionage for the Soviet Union. The government decided to charge the Rosenbergs under the Espionage Act rather than the Atomic Secrets Act because the former carried a death penalty while the latter did not. In 1971, the Nixon administration charged Daniel Ellsberg with violating the Espionage Act after the former RAND employee provided the New York Times and Washington Post with the Pentagon Papers, which detailed the war plans and crimes of US imperialism in Southeast Asia. It's just a short time ago that this state power was used to persecute the other side of the political argument. That's why it's so important that regardless of foreign political affiliations, you're able to track tyranny.
Still, if I'm having a couple IPAs or something like that once in a while, I'll have a cigarette. But you know what? Honestly, a cigarette just, the last couple times I've tried to smoke one, it just tasted nasty to me. I couldn't even finish it, which I guess is a good thing.
Too often, any restraint was abandoned by Barack Obama, whose Justice Department prosecuted more people under the Espionage Act than all previous presidents combined. Not part of
Atlanta?
Often heard in the celebration of his
Not in the city, right?
As a charismatic leader and orator. The Obama administration's prosecutions focused solely on stopping leaks of military documents to the press, which essentially means stopping you finding out the truth about your government and what you pay for.
It's pretty unusual for that area.
prosecuted by Obama included Jeffrey Alexander Sterling, a former CIA officer who revealed to New York Times journalist James Riss details of covert CIA.
This guy's riding light is blinking and keeps making me think he's about to change lanes.
Official who attempted to blow the whistle on NSA spying.
The middle light on his trailer.
Manning, who provided information about US war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan to WikiLeaks. John Kirikou, who leaked information about the illegal torture of detainees. Edward Snowden, who provided journalists with a massive document showing the NSA were engaged in massive illegal surveillance against the world's
and
population.
Alabama.
Yep, certainly the world's population. And
Alabama gets it both directions. The northern part of the state gets tornadoes, the bottom part gets hurricanes.
The Espionage Act would have been sold to you as for your safety, for your protection. But doesn't it actually show?
Same thing with Louisiana. When I was stationed there, man. There were never big tornadoes, but there is a few tornadoes while we were there. While I was there.
Assange's crime is that he published evidence of massive war crimes conducted by American imperialism and its allies. He faces the potential of 170 year prison sentence under Espionage Act charges. Well, at least
I'm going to have to look that up. See if there's any good footage.
Amidst the voluminous media commentary on the indictment, there is little discussion of the content and implications of the documents. Trump
saw the weather dude that from Bow's channel, whatever his name is, talking about a big thing brewing a few days ago. So I'm wondering if that's the aftermath of it. And other than the fact that I washed my car yesterday, we could use the rain here. We did have that one day of rain yesterday morning, which was nice. The grass needed it, but we'll see if it rains today. It looks like it's going to up here.
This is precisely why the Democratic Party has selected the Espionage Act as its legal vehicle for attempting to remove Trump from the political arena. Even the World Socialist Organization are willing to recognize that the function of this trial is to remove Trump from the political arena. And even if you hate Trump, wouldn't you prefer a political arena that didn't rely on his needs? Wouldn't you prefer a political climate that wasn't reduced to just dismissing and smearing their opponents rather than improving their own game? They cannot improve their own game if they are owned by corporate interests. This effort is motivated in particular by Trump's stated position on the US-NATO war against Russia over Ukraine. The Biden administration is absolutely committed to the war against Russia over Ukraine. The initiation of the Ukrainian counter-offensive last week is the precursor to a massive escalation of US-NATO involvement in the war. That's good because this is something we'll be able to track, won't we? We're going to see in the coming weeks there is an escalation. We'll be able to look, won't we, at Lockheed Martin and Raytheon's profits, and we'll be able to look to see which Pentagon officials formerly held posts at Raytheon or Lockheed Martin, like the current Minister of Defense. We'll be able to decide for ourselves if this analysis is true, won't we? A direct intervention involving NATO troops is coming and may not be far off. Under these conditions, the American ruling class, or at least significant sections of it, is not prepared to accept Trump as the leader of its foreign policy. Trump is the leading Republican candidate for president, and the prospect of his return to office is a very real and dangerous one. But the ruling class...
I usually get 50 to 55 milligrams. I mean, you can get it as low as like 25, I think. How much do you get per head? I'm not sure. I'm sure I actually, technically, I probably end up getting more nicotine using the vape, but a whole lot less everything else. All the other crap that comes with cigarettes.
Have you noticed an increase in censorship?
Cannabis.
Have you noticed an inability
Cloud
to
cannabis.
military action? Have you noticed an escalation in tensions between the US and China? Have you noticed that the establishment is determined to pursue its agenda at any cost? Have you noticed that there is no real democracy in America? Have you noticed that there is a requirement for
it's
real
South Georgia.
change? And
all right.
Isn't that what we should be addressing? Giving people real democratic...
Usually it's odd for you to get a big tornado by a city or a big city like that.
Debates between Joe Biden, Marianne Williamson and RFK, letting the people decide for themselves. We've already seen what happened when an even slightly radical...
I mean, it's happened,
Bernie
but
Sanders emerged within the Democrat Party. He was shut down, and now he votes for war along with the rest of them. In this instance, in this argument, what we have to recognise is that Trump is being shut down because he's a threat to the establishment. And whether you like it or not, the facts are appear to speak for themselves. But that's just what I think. Why don't you let me know what you think in the comments and the chat? How do these crimes tally with the crimes of Barack Obama, with the crimes of Bill Clinton, with the crimes of George W. Bush, with the crimes of Boris Johnson? Why do we even have the category of classification beyond matters that are of direct threat to the domestic population of America and their allies? But that's just what I think. Join our locals community. Become a member of this movement.
Come on, dude. 40 miles an hour.
Stay
Oh.
free.
All right, now your signal goes on. Oh, okay. Gotta get through weeds.
The world is a complicated place with all of its injustice, skullduggery and batfuckery. But football is one place where we can rely on justice, authenticity, honesty, community. Why? Because football is nice.
Yeah, King Buds. There's 6 of them along there.
And what a week it's
There's a fucking outlet mall that's turning into all dispensaries.
United, quite rightly
The outlet mall itself has been closed for, oh, fuck.
With their victory against
God damn it, I'm not going to make it.
in the only European
Oh, we get to see a train, guys.
Elsewhere, Manchester City.
Yeah, I'll probably do a desktop, but it may take me a while to get it rolling because I'm probably gonna have people waiting because I'm not coming into this office tomorrow. So I've scheduled a ton of people today. We'll see how many actually make it.
This story for me evokes the purpose of this podcast.
Yeah, this is usually a high-speed rail though, so it usually goes by pretty fast.
Unity and unification. A ceremony can be created that unleashes elsewhere repressed joy. Where was the joy before it was unleashed by West Ham's victory against Fiorentina? What condition were my dad's ribs in before the goal celebration that followed Jared Bowen's 90th minute goal? In a way, like, in fact, our abilities to predict things...
4 engines.
Fantastic. Because I think I said something about Saeed Benrahma last week prior to the game. You certainly brought up Jared Bowen, and I believe you correctly predicted the entire...
Yeah, it's moving pretty good.
You, very much the Man City of our own little league. A corporatised giant.
That's right.
Plays the game by any means necessary. Unlike me. Plucky underdog. A plucky, belching underdog. Later on, we're going to be talking to Julian Dix, who's perhaps West Ham's most beloved ever fullback, along with the likes of Ray Stewart, Jordan Parrish. I mean,
There could be no train here, and as long as those things are down,
it was an amazing game.
even if they're down by accident, if a cop sees you drive around them, you're fucked.
Stuart Pearce, very hard. Sufal, I feel is hard. And there's no doubt in the hardness of Julian Dix, who we'll be talking to a little bit later about his book, Hammer Time, me, West Ham and
Let's look at the cool graffiti.
Of course it is, Hammer Time. About time someone referenced MC Hammer in the title of their autobiography. Julian Dix was the man to normally do that. And what a week it's been for meeting West Ham heroes. Before we get into the events of Prague, which is where the final took place, I want to tell you a personal story. In the semi-final against AZ Alkmaar, West Ham, there was some advice.
Pretty good graffiti on these cars.
Historically have been among the best.
Usually the hauler cars, those ones are the best now. They don't really have box cars anymore. They have the car haulers, but those are all vented. They're hard to paint on.
Family section at the stadium for the away game there in Amsterdam. One man, 2 men.
No, I'm getting sprinkles.
Against the tides, the torrent of hooligans.
Oh, there's a box car. There's a regular box car.
Here he is doing exactly that.
A couple of them.
Right, well, the other day, Gal, there was some filming taking place down my street. Well, when I say down my street, I mean down my river. Because
You think of it as yours, don't you?
basically.
Yeah, my son does a lot of cool graffiti in Detroit. He's done a little bit in Toledo too, but he's got some really cool ones in Detroit. If you look at him up on Instagram, that's Solo Cajun. The guy who comes in the chat once in a while. Look him up on Instagram. Oh no, it's that's his old one. What's his new one called? Norman Paintswell or something like that.
British cop shows are like, now I put it to you that your aunties.
Yeah, Norman Paintswell.
In a jam jar. And they do things like that.
It's quaint, isn't it? It's
Quaint.
very local as well.
Yeah.
They'll take place in like.
These are car haulers. Oh, that's some pretty good painting on there. Yeah.
There's far too many going on in one village.
What you've got to look at is the quaint homicide axis. It may be very
It's the only legal problems he's ever been in was graffiti.
Every hour there's a lethal, deadly, unnecessary murder. Would you consider moving to the city? Oh no, it's too much crime.
And bipolar, the residents of Midsummer. They're going around throwing like tea parties and things one minute, but by night they're committing crimes.
Do you put the cream or the jam first on your scone, Vicar? I tell you what, do I cut your fucking throat? Oh, bloody hell! I don't want to live in
Long train. I knew with 4 engines it was going to be big.
a couple of gardens down on the river.
You want to get involved,
Of course I
didn't you?
did. 'Cause you know
Crimson
what?
Code is live
When you're
again.
filming that, like it's the world's most serious thing. Have you ever gone past the film set and let them know in the chat that, please, like, if there's a road or anything, they stop traffic and we're high vis vest, like it's the world's most important thing that's ever happened by the conducting heart surgery. Really, what are you doing? We're making Midsummer's Murder a highly improbable TV. Whatever it is irrelevant, isn't it? So they're ridiculous when they're taking it so serious. We're making Batman. There's a man over there pretending to be a bat. Slow down, but we got to get this ambulance. The kidney surgery is imminent. He's
There we go.
pretending.
No cabooses anymore.
What? How exactly did he acquire this desire? Well, he was in a back cave, carrying out his normal routine of bat-related activities, culminating, of course, in the world-famous bat fight, and then he became a vigilante. That's a reference to the rest of the show. You have to look and watch that on Rumble if you listen to this as a podcast. Anyway,
So you saw the Midsummer Murders were being filmed,
a couple of gardens along,
and you thought to yourself,
and my children. I thought to myself, and I thought to my
I
children.
bet you thought,
142
"Oh, hang on a
cars.
second,
I was gonna count,
Midsummer
but then I thought I'm not gonna be able to keep up with
Midsummer
chat.
Murders, more like.
Yeah, and I thought,
So
oh,
four-
it's the Puritans.
4 engines and 142 cars, or is that the engines too?
You can't stop me doing what I like. So I went by boat.
Oh, there's another one coming the other way. Oh shit, we got by just in time.
And like, someone went,
Fuck, we almost caught 2 of them.
It's important. Shit's important. What we're doing here. Right, and I was like,
A lot of times when they have that many cars, they'll have a mid engine and sometimes a pusher engine at the back when they get really big.
I didn't think that. It was the first idea. I thought it was time to say a bit of language that separated me from the sort of person that could be shushed.
What is this, 4x3 or 16x9?
What's your now, mate? 4K. Oh, it's good there. No. You made a mistake there, mate. This is murder plot. Should I have done it in black and white? That's how I make all
Wow,
my
okay.
films.
Plus the 4
Black and white,
engines,
that's more
okay.
classics, you know what I mean?
That's nuts.
Simple Seal, it's my favourite.
Really?
What's this, Bergman?
Who did a short?
Kurosaki, this is it. Right, so I go, you first AD, he goes third. I go, can't get it first. Can't get it first, I didn't even talk to you, mate. Anyway, so the first AD comes out, a few people recognise me, it starts to seem like I've been welcomed, quite rightly, as a visiting dignitary, which is what I am.
You were up with John Nettles, weren't you? He's not even on it
Of
anymore.
course, Nettles. Oh yeah, he's long gone Nettles. You'll be lucky to get Nettles, but I see your Nettles and I'll raise you Knowles, right? Because bowling over comes none other than the angel of Alkmaar himself, Knowlesy. What? He comes bowling over. Here's a photograph of me with him. He goes, Russell, Knowlesy, like that, and he's a unit. He's a big fella, and also I'm sort of engaged in what could be regarded as an act of essentially trespass, because I'm coming into a territory. But that's the very thing that those AZ Alkmaar fans were doing. So I could have antagonised Knowlesy.
It's in a stiff upper.
Well, it'd have been mostly they were over. What kind of punch is that, Dan? That's a sort of an overhead punch. He would like
Ah, gotcha.
overhand blow to the skull. Is what I was expecting. That's what he was delivering to those people coming up the stairs. Anyway, he was there. His son-in-law, who's the other lad with the green hoodie up, he was there. They're grips on Midsummer Murders.
Oh, I thought he might be playing the murderer.
No, of course he's not nosy.
Right.
Yeah, there's some huge train yards both in Detroit and Toledo because of all the cars, car industry.
Sort of bracelet, like or band type thing. Oh, it was lovely. I've got
I saw a pretty big one in Pittsburgh too when I was there,
all over that set for a while. My children,
right along the river.
the Midsummer's Murders set.
But hang on, wasn't he meant to be escorting you away from the set? Wasn't that the job that he was paid to do?
No, that's not his job. He just came over and say hello and like.
Oh, it's not security. Sorry.
No, he's not. He's
Try and find it.
Yeah, I think he might be the gaffer. In fact,
What are these technical terms that you use, Ross?
I gotta order some more internet for
I've never heard
one of the housing buildings in Cleveland too today. I gotta order 2 more connections. This building's so big. We're trying to cover the whole building with Wi-Fi.
Anyway, so that is my encounter with Knowlesy. We're now firm friends. I didn't get Knowlesy.
Oh, sweet.
Look at the softness to him. Look at the beauty to him. Look how gentle.
See if I can pull it up on my alternate phone here.
The reason that we're celebrating football is because of
JC News now.
Good. The mum very proud there. They've got that digging.
West Ham are the best club in the world. I'm saying it. West Ham are the best club in the world.
Jesus, traffic. Damn it.
Wow. Lovely, isn't it?
Because one side gets clear, the other one's busy.
Liverpool, they say this means more.
Yeah.
Like somehow it's got more meaning. It's a weird idea that something could have more meaning. But if you contrast the... And I know Man City fans, I know you
Okay,
have
get your...
to...
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This is about the co-opting of your beautiful club by corporate interests and even national interests, global interests that currently align with your agenda as a fan because you want to see your team win. I went on Talk Sport with the brilliant Simon Jordan and adorable Jim White, and we had a conversation.
Probably not the smartest place to park for a storm is under this tree, but it stays cooler when the sun's out.
Player wages, because the intention of the various corporate and globalist interests can't be, how do we pay footballers more money? Yeah. There must be another reason, and when you know what that reason is,
sweet.
Privatisation, sports washing, commodification, creating global brands, ultimately a global super league, that is the thing that needs to be addressed by regulation. If you regulate a symptom, you don't deal with the problem.
Oh, it's from the danger.
It's just plain and obvious to me, if not Simon Jordan, who's going to come on the show, actually. He's going to come here live, Gareth. So
well, all right, guys.
Exciting. If you're a football fan, post your questions in chat. Now, and about, like, you can see how the West Ham.
Burn the battery up.
Could be argued that West Ham.
All right, I'm gonna try and get desktop set up. It may take about a half hour though, depending on how many people are here waiting for me.
That's the kind of reaction that children give.
We'll go over a few things today. Like some decent videos dropped this morning too. All right, y'all. Thanks for riding with me. Peace. Love one another.